Dear respected Thai, dear community, dear young friends around the world, welcome to Plum Village. Today is the 5th of August, the year 2023, and we are at the Wake Up Retreat, Love in Action. And this is our first talk that allow us to give us some orientation about how to enjoy this week. You come here because you give yourself a gift of 7 days to have vacation in south of France together with many young people. And we want to have this week as fruitful as possible. If it is not, then we just enjoy that week. How to enjoy that week. So just now we just listened to the 3 sound of the bells. And the bell is a very good friend of us in Plum Village. There are many traditions in Buddhism. One of them, their best friend is drum. And in Plum Village, our best friend is bell. Yeah. So you will listen to many bells during this week. The activity bell to sign that our activity is about to start, which is around 15 minutes normally. As monastic, we call ourselves like a full-timer practitioner. And when we all arrive in the monastery, then you become full-timer also. So when you are at home, maybe you practice from time to time. But when we are in the monastery, in the source of the practice, then we all train ourselves to be a full-timer too. And you have 7 days to be a full-timer practitioner. What a wonderful opportunity. And as a full-timer practitioner, we want to practice a little bit more detail than when we practice alone at home, because we have a lot of support, so we can do something a little bit more detailed. And this is an invitation for everybody to make good use of this week. So when we listen to the activity bell, as monastic, our training is to let go everything directly. First of all, we let go our conversation, we let go the work that we are doing, and just simply stop. Find the best posture, the most relaxed posture, and breathe in and out, and enjoy the moment. Because that moment, we call it the moment of freedom. And this is not a political freedom. This is not the freedom that I do whatever I want. This is a very specific freedom. It's the freedom of time. How wonderful it is. As we stay with our in-breath and out-breath, we are free from the past and we are free from the future. And we're probably also free from the present, because we just enjoy this in-breath and out-breath. And this is the moment that we train ourselves to be stable, to be solid, to be clear, and stay in the present moment. So when we listen to the bell, we let go. Especially the activity bell, we let go. And then we prepare ourselves directly towards the activity, because we don't want to rush to the activity. That's why we are offered 15 minutes to take our time to prepare to go to that activity. So when you arrive in the hall or in the Dharma sharing or whatever activity it is, you always maintain your peace, because you have 15 minutes to go to the next one. Yeah. So we have activity bell, we have also the great bell. The great bell will sound 2 times a day. The first one is to sign the day is starting. And that is the most exciting moment. Like the day is starting. And then the last one is the day ends. It's also a joyful moment because at the end, we can finish all the activity and we can go back to sleep, practicing noble silence in the night to create this powerful silence for everybody to enjoy before sleeping. But the great bell, we can stop maybe the first 7 sound. We don't have to stop the whole 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Yeah, we can, when they start to invite it 7 times, we can just enjoy that 7 times. And then after that, we can continue the things that we need to do. We also have small bell. This morning in the meditation, we have the small bell for us to stand up, to bow to each other, and etc. So the bell is our best friend. When you go back home, if you want to continue to build your relationship with the bell, we also have bells that you can own, or you can use electronic bell in Plum Village app. Yeah. But in Plum Village, you don't need that because you have a real bell. Yeah. At home, you can have electronic bell. So beside the bell, our best friend is our breath. Our breath is a treasure. So my name is Brother Treasure. That is a very difficult name. When someone calls you, Brother Treasure, I have to check, am I? If I give suffering to someone, that I know that I'm not really a treasure at that time. So it's a kind of like a mirror for me too. So our breath is a treasure, something very precious. Because our breath is still there, then the change is possible. Everything is possible. Anything that you want is possible because you have still the breath. Because when we don't have breath, then our life is done. Yeah. But when we still have breath, it means we still have life. It means when life is there, it means everything is in constant change. In Plum Village, we say, impermanent is life. Yeah. Thanks to the change, the suffering can be transformed into happiness and peace. The way I look at impermanent, not only in the pessimistic way. Sometimes we look at impermanent as misfortune. But the way I look at impermanent, I give it a bigger spectrum. So for me, the impermanent at least can be seen in 4 directions. The first is good become bad. That is also impermanent. Or bad become good. It's also impermanent. Bad become worse. It is also impermanent. And the last one is my favorite. Good become better. Yeah. So we have that freedom to navigate our impermanent. If today I have peace, I should not be too afraid of losing my peace because of impermanent. But instead, I know that I can nourish my peace and strengthen my peace. And that is also impermanent. So breathing is our practice during this week. Whenever we do something, check your breathing first. Is your breathing in or out? We say mindfulness of breathing. So we become aware of our in-breath and out-breath. This is not something inbuilt in our system when we are born. We have so many things to think about, so many to-do lists that we need to do. And sometimes the most precious treasure things we forget, which is our breath. Yeah. So this week we have a chance to do that. To see the possibility of life through our breathing, to see hope in our breathing. So when we become aware of our in-breath and out-breath, that is the time when mindfulness arises in our body and also our mind. And when mindfulness is there, we know that this is like a sunny day. Everything is so bright and you can see everything clearly. And it has this warmth feeling that you can embrace anything that is there. This is what we call generating mindfulness. So the first thing we generate mindfulness is through our mindful breathing. Whatever suffering we have right now, for us in our practice, in order to release our suffering, to reduce our suffering, there's no pill, there's no medicine. But there is something that we can integrate in our suffering. We can embrace our suffering. We contribute energy of mindfulness, peace, compassion towards our suffering. Then we have a chance to understand better our suffering. When our suffering is become very long, it is because we don't have enough insight on understanding. Probably sometimes we are afraid of our suffering. But to have courage, to stay with our in-breath and out-breath, being aware of our body, we have a chance to take our suffering into our arm, take a look at it, and to understand it. That is already the act of compassion towards ourselves. And once we understood the suffering, and that is the time we can have insight, and that is the time we release our suffering. In the past, I also go through the same thing. And I don't understand why I don't feel happy. It's only by stopping and look deeply into the suffering, I have the insight. What is the cause of the suffering and how to reconcile with it? So this week we will learn all of that. I will not tell you now. We have a lot of teachings and sharing, so we keep it for later. So generating mindfulness is a kind of rebellious action actually. Because that is not normally what people do, to be aware. So by just being aware of our in-breath and out-breath, that is already a revolution that we can offer to the world. I think nowadays we need more people who are aware of themselves, who are aware of what is happening around. But only aware is not enough. That person also needs to be happy. Because nowadays, when we become aware, we cannot be happy. It's very difficult. In Plum Village, we have a practice called I have arrived, I'm home. It sounds very simple. Sometimes it can be very scary. Because when we come home, sometimes the house is so messy. The laundry has not yet done. The kitchen has not yet cleaned. The living room is not really tidy. And sometimes we feel scared. So when we come back to our home, sometimes we are afraid to see our feeling, to see our emotion, to see our life. And sometimes it can be very hard. But we need courage. We need togetherness, support each other. So I have arrived, I'm home. It's a practice. Home in the present moment. Our teacher Thai say our home address is present moment. So when we come back to our breath, feel the sensation of the body, we arrive home. And the next step, don't run away. Yeah. If your home is not clean, don't run away. Yeah. Don't get panic. If you cannot clean the whole things, call your friends. Ask help. Yeah. And that's why we have family Dharma sharing, in order to support each other. Yeah. We can share our feeling, share how we feel, and listen to the other. But in the present moment, if we are able and courageous enough to stay, we can see so many wonders of life. As I shared at the beginning, the first thing we can cherish is our life already. To know that we are alive, that is already the biggest thing. And the second is we see that the sun is still shining. The rain is still refreshing. This summer we have these teachings that the rain is so refreshing, in the summertime. Yeah. That is something that we can enjoy. This retreat we have 3 times meal, 3 meals a day. Wonderful. You may experience also even you have to eat, you have to, but you will eat without feeling hunger too, because we have 3 meals a day. So in the mindful eating, we call it mindful eating, is to be aware while we eat. So this retreat, we also practice being aware of our food. We don't want to see meals as an obstacle of our daily activity. But the meals can be something very precious as our breath. Yeah? Maybe let us listen to one sound of the bell and check our home and smile to our home. So because this retreat, we call it love in action. It means while we eat, we can produce love too. We can enjoy love during eating. Yesterday in the evening in my Dharma sharing group, we eat in the spirit of looking deeply into the food. We see that the food that we eat, it becomes ourself, become our body, become our blood, become our muscles, become our organs. But not only that, that food that we eat is also become our energy for us to think, for us to speak, and for us to move. So we can discover the food that we eat in ourselves, in our mind. So I share that there's no complex between you and the kidney beans. So we don't see that kidney beans is just kidney beans. No. After you eat that kidney beans, you are the kidney beans too. When you think, you know that the kidney beans is there. So don't be complex about human and food. Huh? So when we eat, actually we are surviving ourselves and reproducing ourselves, basically, to bring ourselves to the future. So it is a very intimate moment. Every single food that we eat, it produces this energy of love to sustain you, to sustain me. Every single spoon that I eat. And how to stay with that awareness and chew mindfully, eat mindfully. And not only that, this week we have a privilege to eat together, not eat alone. Eating alone is not very fun. Yeah. So eating together is a privilege. So while we eat, not only the intimate relationship with the food, but we also connect ourselves with the community, with friends, and we eat together. And that food does not fall from the sky. There are a group of people working very hard in the kitchen, 3-4 hours to prepare the food for us. And we eat that love, that offering. Yeah. So this week is a chance for us in this monastery to train ourselves to practice love. Love in action, in all action that we are doing. And mindful eating is not starting when we eat. It starts from the sound of the bell, right? So for the meal time, the sound of the bell is not 15 minutes before. It's when the food is ready, it is invited. So we let go everything, go to the dining hall, and we queue in silence. Because at that moment you are not waiting. You practice standing meditation. You enjoy your in-breath and out-breath, being aware that your body is in the present moment. It's not in the past. It's not in the future. The food is in the future. You are in the present. Yeah. It's a practice of present moment. Hold yourself in the present moment. And then when the person in front of you moves, you know that you are closer. Yeah. So that is the joy of the dining hall. Yeah. Don't run away. That is your present moment and that is your home. And sometimes we cannot bear that moment. We start a conversation so that we can forget the present moment. Yeah. Because it's not very pleasant. Yeah. So I have arrived, I'm home. It's a real practice. So we wait. You enjoy your in-breath and out-breath. You tell yourself, breathing in, I know that I'm standing. Breathing out, I know that I'm standing. If you are impatient, breathing in, I know that I'm impatient. Breathing out, I know that I'm impatient. Don't judge yourself, just smile to it. Yeah. And then you move one step ahead, one step ahead. And when we arrive at that table, we may feel like, I cannot wait anymore. I need to serve my food. And yet, maybe you see someone in front of you, like join their palm and bow to the bowls. And you may ask question, what is that? Why you bow to the bowl? So this is also a practice of reverence. Reverence is a kind of respect that can nourish our mind and our body. Because reverence is also one of the most ingredient of love. Love is like a chocolate cake, has a lot of ingredient. So one of the ingredient is reverence, respect. So we join our palm because we know that all of these bowl and plates soon will be filled with treasures that is offering by people, by the nature, by the earth, by the rain, by the sun, all come together to sustain you. Yeah. So normally, as a practitioner, a full-timer practitioner, we stand and we join our palm. We look at the table, we see, how lucky am I? The whole universe come to sustain me. And this bowl is empty and soon will be full. And I need to check, how much do I need? And I take what I need. Yeah. Not take too much from what I need. Yeah. So taking what we need is a very revolutionary action too. So our revolution is not, asking the government to change. It has to start from us in a very detailed action. So we take. You maybe fail at the first time. You serve. At the end, you see that you have a mountain of food. Don't feel sad. You just tell yourself that I can do better next meal. And then we try again. Yeah. In Plum Village, it's very challenging. Yeah. Everything is good. Everything is good. Yeah. So this is a homework for us to check ourselves, to have self-awareness when we serve the food. So we serve our food with reverence, with respect, with recognizing the people who prepare, recognizing the whole universe is there, and we serve our food according to what we need. In case you take too much food, don't throw away. If we can keep it, we can keep it for later. Like for example, bread you can keep for later. In the morning, maybe you take over 1 piece or 2 pieces, you can keep it for the next meal so that we save the food, we don't throw away. Let us listen to one sound of the bell. So dear friends, in order to do your action with love, we need to be present, to be there. And sometimes when we do things in rushing, very fast, it is because sometimes we have this unconscious mind thinking that we are not good enough. We think that we have not yet enough. That's why we need to run after one thing after another. Going to sitting meditation with this mind of I don't have enough, so I need to go to meditate. And then you run. Yeah. So if we have a question to ask ourselves, am I good enough? We have to be courageous enough to say, yes, I am. I am good enough now. Every moment when we recognize that we are alive, that is the moment of enough. I have enough. I am enough too. Yeah, I'm good enough. So when we are good enough, we don't need to rush. We don't need to run after something. We can take our time. So in this retreat, we can slow down our body, slow down our mind, because we have enough. And we are good enough. So we don't need to run after something. Even our sitting meditation, sometimes we are still running in the sitting meditation. Do you know how somebody run in the sitting meditation? I'm not judging you, this is also me. So sometimes when we sit, this is the example of running in the meditation. So you sit. The first thing I need to know is my in-breath and my out-breath. Where is it? And then you run after your in-breath and out-breath. Oh, this is it. This is my in-breath and this is my out-breath. And of course your mind will run away after, in 1 second or 2. And then you are so upset and then, I need my breath. And then you're in-breath, out-breath. And continue to run like this for 30 minutes. Yeah? And then after you're sitting, oh, why I feel so tired? The other case is we have an idea that sitting meditation means I don't have thinking. So you are running after no thinking moment. Like you sit and the only things that you're waiting is the moment of no thinking. And we try and try and try and try, maybe this way, maybe that way, maybe this way, maybe that way. After sitting, you also feel very tired after. Yeah. We are tired because we are run after something. So one time, Thai, our teacher, shared that all sitting is a good sitting. When I hear that, I was like, how is it possible? In my sitting, not all sitting is good. How can Thai say everything is good? All sitting is good. So I take about 1 month to experiment. What does it mean? And it turned out that actually I need to let go of running after something. If I think that no thinking is good, it means that is the things that I need to let go. If I think, if I do sitting, there's no pain, and I have to run after that, I have to let go that idea. If I think in my sitting meditation, I can just have in-breath and out-breath, then I have to let go that idea too. And be open with everything. No war, no fighting. That's why we say just sit. So I will sit, I will enjoy in-breath, out-breath, and then probably I will think. And what I need to know is just to know that I'm thinking. There's no fighting. And I smile to that thinking. And I see if I can come back to my breath. And I stay with my breath again, in and out. And if I feel like so difficult inside, my mind does not allow me to focus anymore, I just simply open my eyes. Look outside. Look at the morning. Look at the evening. Outside the window. To release the tension inside. There's nothing to fight. Yeah. If my body does not want to cooperate with me to sit still, then I allow myself also to adjust my posture gently, silently. You know, sometimes I cannot anymore in the past. I have to do this. I just sit like this for 30 minutes. Because this is also sitting. Isn't it? This is not standing. So if I'm still aware that I'm sitting, it means I'm still sitting meditation. So the idea, we need to let go. Because right now, my body feels much better if rather than I just sit, force myself to sit like this. So we need to train our body with gentleness, with love, because we know that this body is not an instrument. It is something that is alive. It has its own habit. It has its own life. And it belongs to your ancestor, not only us, not only mine. So I need to be gentle with my body. And sometimes when we have difficulty in our life, when we do sitting, the body just does not want to sit. The mind just does not want to sit. So if you are in that situation, maybe you can find a place where you can sit and you can stand up for a while without disturbing your neighbor. Yeah. This is a very specific cases. Sometimes can happen to us. And we can stand up for a few breaths and you can sit down gently. Yeah, we don't run away from the suffering. We try to embrace it and provide a condition for it to be possible. And when we have a guided meditation, the guided meditation is to help us to touch the thing that we want to cultivate. Because there are many things that we want to cultivate inside, in our meditation. So for example, there is a practice that I really like, is breathing as a flower. So breathing in, I see myself as flower. We all know flower. And we have flower in our consciousness. Yeah. See ourselves as flower. And breathing out, I feel fresh. So you may like to invite the flower that can give you freshness in you. You don't need to make effort. You just need to tell yourself, flower, fresh. And you allow that freshness to arise by itself. Thanks to the flower, we can get in touch with that freshness. And what happens is, because you associate the flower with freshness, and that freshness with flower, when we breathe with that, the flower will strengthen your freshness will strengthen your flower, and your flower will strengthen your freshness. It will make a loop like that. And after that, we change the meditation into mountain and solid. And then the mountain will strengthen your solidity will strengthen your mountain. And this is some element that we really need to resist what is happening in the mainstream. I say to the young people, don't wait for the outside to change in order to experience change. We can change from inside out. Peace in oneself, peace in the world. We can contribute that right here and right now. We can live a life that shows the resistance in every moment. Yeah. Resist from forgetfulness. Because we have that habit of being forget, not being aware. Yeah. So we resist that by coming back to ourselves. Living as a monk is also a form of resistance of the mainstream. We shave our head, wear the robe, live simply, and come back to ourselves, take care of ourselves. And that is a form of resistance to the mainstream. So as practitioner, we all can practice like that. Every single day when you wake up, you have to tell yourself, I'm ready for today. Ready for what? Ready for change. Ready for building something inside of us. And together we can do it as a community. So in the sitting meditation, when we enter the hall, actually from your tent or from your bed, we already can walk mindfully. We don't have to meditate in the hall. We meditate, start from the bell. We arrive. When we enter the hall, we can join our palm and bow. This is also the act of love, because we don't want to run in the meditation hall. We want to really cut our habit into segments. Yeah. Walk mindfully. When you enter, you cut that segment into mindfulness. You bow. And then you enter, because you know body and mind together is being present. And you bow. You know that your body is your mindfulness. You can walk mindfully towards the cushion. And after you arrive in front of your mats or the chair, we cut that segment again to not run to sit directly, because we want to sit mindfully. So again, you stop being present for yourself. You bow to the cushion or the chair, and then you sit down gently. That is the act of love to your body and your mind. Why we need to bow to the cushion? Because that cushion is hosting you, holding your body. It's like a mother carry a baby, right? Allow you to sit and generate mindfulness, generate clarity inside of you. So that is our practice of reference in every single thing in our daily life. Walking is the other thing. Every time we move, we have to walk around. Yeah? And this is something that we can train ourselves to slow down, to feel that I have enough. When we are not used to walk slowly, our body can be imbalanced, because the recording is getting fast. So when you walk slowly, your body may feel like this. So when you feel like this, you know there is something is adjusting itself. Don't be afraid. Yeah. And every step, you feel you are arrived. Every step. It's a feeling of fullness, of enough, of contentment, satisfaction, because you fully arrive. And your mind has a chance to rest in every step. So when we practice alone, you can take your personal time to explore this, to just feel your step. Can I feel arrive? We are suggested to take one breath and one step, and ask yourself, am I arrived? And you see, yes, okay. If you yes, then you can go to the next one. And if you feel arrived, you can go to the next one. And you memorize how it feels that you fully arrive in your step. And once you know how it feels, you can make a little bit faster Can you see? Can you still maintain that feeling? Because the step should give your whole body relax. It takes me some months to train this, to feel like I enjoy my step. Or we say, I have arrived, I have arrived. If we walk a little bit faster, and I feel home, I feel home, I feel home. I can change whatever I want to touch. If I want to touch peace, I check if there is peace in my step. And there is peace, there is peace, there is peace, there is peace. I can feel it in every step. So this is when you practice alone. Yeah? And you walk around the hamlet, we slow down our body. That is the respect to your body too. That we don't rush our body anymore. Weak. But when we walk together as a river of humanity, we want to make sure that everyone's pace is more or less the same. We don't want to be separated from the group. So in this way, when we walk, we not only care about ourselves, but we care about the people beside me. I care about the people behind me and in front of me. So my awareness is my surrounding. And I walk together as a river. Yeah. Separation, loneliness can be the sickness of nowadays. And by coming together, flowing as a group, we have a chance to connect with ourselves and connect with the people around us. For me, every time I see people come to Plum Village and have that awareness, I feel so happy, because this is something that we need. We need more happy people in the world. We don't need more intelligent people. We all intelligent already. We know so many things, so many information we can access to. We have enough. Yeah. But we need more people that can be happy. And this week we have a chance to do it. And to be happy is not something like you need to get something. This is another thing. The habit of extracting. Right? So, and now we know that, our polycrisis is because we keep extracting things from the earth. From below, from the top, we just extract. We may have that habit towards ourselves too. We extract ourselves too. We have suffering. We don't want it. We try to extract the suffering out from ourselves. We meditate. We kind of force and extract the peace. Peace, please get out. No, cannot. So the reference, the love that we want to offer is to give. To offer a space for your body, offer the space of your feeling. So when we have suffering, we also offer a space for our suffering to dwell. Yeah. Give home to your suffering. So your suffering will feel cared for. When your suffering feel cared for, you also feel cared for. And that is from yourself. Yeah. So mindfulness is oneself, but also collective. Yeah. Nowadays we have a lot of mindfulness practice in the app. You can do it by yourself. But coming to Plum Village is a different thing. We want to have a collectivity. We learn from the Buddha that we need Sangha, we need community, we need collective insight and collective awakening. Yeah. Because sometimes, like for me, sometimes I don't have enough concentration, I don't have enough happiness in my day. But I know if I merge myself in a community, I know that there are people in the community are very fresh and happy. I can take refuge in them. In this week, you can look around, you can see some people are very fresh, and you can just look at the people, you feel nourished. A practitioner that walks mindfully, it can remind everybody to be mindful. That energy will penetrate in the people around, and that's how we support each other. When I cannot be concentrated, I know that my Sangha have someone who can be concentrated. When I'm not fresh, I know that in the Sangha there are people who are fresh. When I depress, I know that there are people in the Sangha who are not depressed, that I can lean on. Because our energy is shared, our mind is shared, it's a sharing. It's like a Google Drive. It's the cloud. It's a sharing files. Yeah. Why I say this? Because when you get angry in a room, everyone can feel it, right? Even you don't say anything, it's very loud in the room. So the feeling is shared. The emotion is shared. So if we are peaceful, and we have this light in the body, we help each other. Because not everybody have light feeling in their heart. And that's why we come together. And if we are not happy, we don't have to be jealous on the others too, because we know that I can take refuge in the people around. Especially in the Dharma sharing, we can look around who is fresh. If I'm not fresh, then I can look around who is fresh. I can take refuge in that person. If I'm fresh today, I can offer my present in the family. So this is the collective practice that we want to experience this week too. And because in our life there are so many things that we need to face, and all need courage. We have to slowly leave behind the individualism and to look at how we can do things together as a human family on the globe. So Thai told us that there are many young people has to leave their dream because they don't know how to realize it. They want to make change, but it looks like impossible. And some people want to be rebellious, but don't know how to do it. And somehow we also see that people who express their rebellious action, they get deprived, they get oppressed, they cannot really express themselves. But we do need change as a community. We want to have a life that is happy and peaceful. And Thai share that we can do that. First of all, we need to take care of ourselves. Check what we can do with our resources. We have resources and we need to use all of that. We have treasure inside of us. We have peace, we have joy, but we need to touch it. We need to water that seeds. But there are a few things in our life that we need to look into as a community. The first thing we need to look at is loneliness. How can I take care of my loneliness? Don't think that we have these 200 people can guarantee you to not feel lonely. I have been practicing in the community for 12 years. Sometimes I still feel that feeling in the crowd, especially when the three hamlets come together. We have like 700 people, and I get panic of connection. Like, who should I get connected to? Huh? And if I don't feel connected, then I feel lonely. When I experience that, the first thing I need to tell myself is, calm down, my dear. Don't run away. It's okay. Yeah. And I will make a cup of tea. And I told myself, don't walk more than 20 steps. So after I make my tea, I will walk not more than 20 steps and sit down directly. And what I need to do at that time, don't think about who I need to connect to. Let go that thought, and the only things that I need to connect is my tea. And I drink my tea mindfully. Nowadays, after 3 sips of my tea, I already feel full. I feel full. I feel connected with myself. And then I say, now I'm ready to connect with anybody who wants to connect. So the taking care of oneself is so important. Pay attention, especially picnic lunch. Picnic lunch by affinity is easy. You just need to go to the affinity you like to. But when it just picnic lunch, where should I go? Huh? For me, sometimes it's so funny, the mind. Like, picnic lunch, suddenly you have this idea. You forget even that you're supposed to eat. You just think about where should I eat and who should I eat with. So I changed my mind. The way I do picnic is like I take my food, go out, look where I want to sit. Empty space with people does not matter. But what I keep in mind is like, I'm going to eat. Yeah. So no matter I sit alone or I sit with people, it does not really matter. But the main purpose is I'm going to eat. Because when I sit with a group, automatically I will connect. I don't need to be afraid. Yeah. Of course, we have this a little bit like, oh, will I be a bit? But like the main purpose is to eat. Yeah. And when we eat, everyone eat, then you connect. So the connection is not through speech, but through action. And after that, of course, we can chat. The second thing that we need to look at, the deep need and superficial need. So that is the example. At that moment, your real need is to eat. The other need is superficial. So we don't create a superficial need for us to suffer every day. So do one thing at a time. Second is aspiration, to check our aspiration. What is our aspiration? Actually, our need and our aspiration is almost the same. Our need actually is to love and to be loved. And I have explained how to do it by having reference, slow down your body, tell yourself that you are good enough, and walk mindfully, breathe mindfully. We have all the practice here. And do things together as a group, as much as we can. And the next one is to learn. So this week we also have a learn. This week we have a lot of, like 3 teachings at least. We learn about how to love oneself. The art of suffering. Our teachers say that, I would like to write a book called How to Suffer. But it does not sound very interesting, that book. Because everyone has enough in their plate. Yeah. But anyway, we will learn the art of suffering. And we also will learn about exploring our emotion. This is very funny. The emotion is ours. We have emotion, and actually the emotion makes us feel alive. You can feel angry, you can feel anxious, you can feel peaceful, you can feel love, you can feel compassion, you can feel afraid. It's wonderful. But sometimes we are afraid on our own emotion. So this week we have also a chance to explore, to understand a little bit our emotion so we can love our emotion too. And of course, we also have to include learning how to manage our action. What ethical measure that we can embed into our action so that we can navigate our life in a way that we can touch happiness, peace, but at the same time, we can have this urgency of today. Because we know that as a young people, your life will have a lot of interesting things. And there are so many things that we can face in our life. Sometimes I told people that I really enjoy getting older and getting older. Because the more age I have, I know that I have been passing through many challenges in my life, and I survived until today. And that is the joy of being old. So every time I have a birthday, we say continuation day, I will celebrate that year. One more year, I faced the challenge, and I survived. Yeah. So if you are 20s right now, you know that you have a lot of challenge in front of you that you can welcome it with joy, as long as you are not alone. Yeah, as long as you are not alone. And this is how we train ourselves for collectivity. So action of today's urgency, we will also explore that this week. And of course, the other things that we want to look at is love. Maybe I write down on the board so we can just see the things that we want to look at together. Superficial. How to write superficial? P-E-R, superficial. So when we talk about spirituality, this is about how to look at our action. Because the worldly action can be spiritual. Eating is worldly, but it can be spiritual. It can be the source of intimacy if we are there and be present while we are eating. Taking shower can be spiritual. It is worldly. It's just like day-to-day things, But it can be spiritual. Because every time we touch our body, we know that all the food that we eat is there. The air that we take is there. So you can find trees also in your body. The river is also there. All the ancestors that own the gene, they are all there. All your friends are also there. Yeah? So if we touch that, we can touch a very deep love and very deep intimacy just by cleaning our body. There are gathas, if you see many places, there are beautiful poems. We can practice that. Because that gathas can help us to stop, recognize, and look deeply. So stopping, so this is the wing of meditation. So when we are mindful, we are not just knowing, but we also nourished by that. Like the very beginning, I say we stay with our breath. So first you know that you are breathing. And after that, that breath becomes the source of happiness, because you are able to look deeply that your breath is your life, that your breath is also your hope. So when we want to change, to make change in the world, in ourselves, in our community, these are the 5 things that we propose for everyone to pay attention to take care, and to have courage to explore these 5 things together as a community. So I hope that you enjoy your week here. And I think the rest, orientation, all the details you have received by email. Maybe you need to reread your email again about how to wear the clothes in monastery. That is also a kind of showing care to each other, so that we don't provoke each other, so everyone can be feel comfortable. And this retreat, we do our best to stay as a human family and create this togetherness and provide safe space for everybody, because everyone needs love. And this is something that we want to offer to everybody. And please be beautiful, be yourself. And I would like to offer a song, and Brother Daofeng will help me to play the guitar to end the session today. This song is about our emotion. Sometimes we can be afraid of our emotion. But in this song, we want to invite our emotion to drink tea. We want to invite our emotion to walk in the forest and enjoy the breathing. When despair steals your home and you don't know what to do, find a quiet place, sit solidly under a tree. When you breathe in, you know that you breathe in. When you breathe out, you know that you breathe out. You will be peaceful, I will be peaceful, we will be peaceful. When fear fills your heart and you don't know what to do, make a cup of tea, sit silently, drink the cloud and be free. You will be peaceful, I will be peaceful, we will be peaceful. When anxiety takes your freedom and you don't know what to do, go to the forest, kiss the earth with every step, and you feel solid and free. You will be peaceful, I will be peaceful, we will be peaceful together. You will be peaceful, I will be peaceful, we will be peaceful. One more time. You will be peaceful, I will be peaceful, we will be peaceful. Maybe one more time. You will be peaceful, I will be peaceful, we will be peaceful. When despair steals your hope, when fear fills your heart, when anxiety takes your freedom, now you know what to do. Let us listen to the three sounds of the bell and breathe together as a community.